What is going on, guys? Hi and welcome to another restream here on Zelda Speedruns 1. Today we have the A Link to the Past randomizer at Keys Tournament 2022 Grand Finals. We have Game 3 of Gammachuu versus humbugh. This is a hyped race, and I welcome my wonderful and lovely commentators, Koi and Ninjum Bro. Say hello, guys.
Hello, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Ninjembro. I'm excited to be commentating this one alongside Koi. How you doing this afternoon?
I have just woke up specifically to watch this awesome race between Gamma and Humbug.
Yeah, so what we have here with the 80 Keys tournament, this has been going on since about I want to say sometime in January. There was a 6-week Swiss leading to a single elimination best of 3 bracket. So here we do have, as was mentioned earlier, the grand finals. It is, like I said, best of 3. So the winner of this race is the grand champion of the tournament. So it should be a really good one. Humbug won game 1, Gammachuu winning game 2, and giving us this game 3. And it looks like the runners did have a couple options of what, aside from just the standard all dungeons key sanity, they could opt for standard, inverted, or boot start. Based on the file select screen, it looks like these runners have opted to do a boot start, which sometimes opens up some slightly different early game routing. You'll usually see a lot of runners head straight to Sarashula with the boot start. So we'll see if either of the runners go that way.
I think Sahasrara starts a pretty strong play, even without boot start if you open with Hula Hand. Because often in Key Sanity, you end up like not having as many resources in chests, like 3 bomb and stuff like that. So opening with the Hula Hand can be pretty powerful. But with the boots, you don't have to do that. You can just go straight there. No bombs required.
Right. And it looks like these runners will be underway shortly here. Anything you're excited to see? Any kind of trolls? Or are you hoping for a pretty clean seed?
I like a fairly normal seed where we full clear the game and then find our Go Mode Castle Tower small key in Gannett's Tower.
Looks like we are off. Both runners starting at Link's house, finding that Eastern Palace map, and it looks like Humbug is opting to go over to Sarashula. Gammachuu making the exact same play. So we'll see what Sash has here for our runners this, I was going to say this morning. I guess it is morning to some, afternoon at this point to others. And for anybody watching from Europe, a good afternoon / evening. Sir Ashla telling us that our green pendant is Palace of Darkness.
Not as critical to talk to him because you know, with all dungeons, Key Sanity, we have to do all the dungeons anyway. But it can be pretty useful to know right away where the extra dungeons are. And Gamma going to Eastern.
Yeah, and we do find our Swamp Palace small key. That's one of those really critical ones. And a hammer at Sanctuary. I don't particularly mind this play on Gammachuu's side. It's
really, I think it's nuts.
I don't hate it just because a lot of times you end up going into Eastern without being able to clear it anyway, so you may as well do it while you're already over here.
Yeah, no, it's not very common you get a nice clean single dip of Eastern in Key Sanity. But I think it's nuts mostly because
you have all of the
you're on
ahead of you.
Yeah, you're on 3 hearts nothing, you know? Like, these aren't the hardest Dark Rooms ever, but when you're on 3 hearts nothing, it's not very difficult to make one little mistake and suddenly you're dying in Eastern and orphaning a location.
Yeah, but getting rewarded with a glove. And we do have a big key at the Lumberjack, so that late Castle Tower small you mentioned might not be a thing. Now, of course, there's multiple big keys that are just completely useless in this. Well, not useless because they may still lock something important, but you know, you have your, for example, your Skull Woods big key, your Swamp Palace big key that aren't actually required to beat the dungeons.
Yeah, or ones like Hera and Ice Palace, which we could skip with Sequence Break.
Right. Ice Rod at the mushroom spot on Humbug's side.
Humbug deigning not to pick up those 20 rupees.
A little surprising, just because not quite at the bottle vendor money yet. And you don't want to find yourself in a position where you feel compelled to buy a 10-pack of 10-pack of bombs. Looks like Humbug is going to farm a couple bombs from the Bonkroks here outside of Kakariko.
Yeah, 2's the magic number. Gets us 10 checks. Well, technically the bombs give us 2 checks, but it's on the way to 10 checks.
Right. Gamma doing very well in the dark room here in Eastern. The one nice thing, even with 3 hearts and not having a weapon, you can just kind of use those the boots, little dust kick-ups to kind of find your way around.
He's down to 1 heart now, so he can't do the damage boost here.
You'll have to go grab these hearts from the pots.
Yeah. Oh, the Popo was so friendly.
So glove, only thing of note coming out of Eastern, but we'll probably see Gamma head straight to the back of Escape here with that glove.
I couldn't believe
checks.
I couldn't believe that Popo was still right there. Like, typically what happens is if you don't do the damage boost immediately, the Popos just move completely out of the way, and you can't use them for that anymore.
Right. We did find a bunch of money in Blind's hideout, so...
you have Boots Gamma.
Yeah, Humbug not too worried about money at this point. Meanwhile, back to Escape. Pod small. And a heart container, so not a whole lot coming from back of Escape there. Although those pod smalls are nice. And we find a second one on the bottle vendor.
Yeah,
so
now
Gamma's just going to be following a bunch in Humbug's footsteps here for a little bit.
Yeah, and Humbug might put off going to Eastern for a bit longer because, you know, that's like the other side of the Sahasrahla start is now, if Eastern ends up being required, it's farther away because you don't have as much to pair it with.
Right.
But there's only so many checks in the light world, and eventually going to Eastern looks a lot better than your other options, so he's going to get there.
Now we'll see if Humbug decides to blind check the race game or not. I find in AD keys it seems to be a little bit more common to just run in and blind check it.
Yeah, that's what we were saying earlier about key sanity having fewer bad things early. Because there's just not as much room because so many things are required, like all the keys. So it's just a higher chance than normal for any single check to be something required this early. Just a compass, though.
The compass.
Did we get Lumberjack out of either runner? I know we didn't get it from Gamma.
Yeah, Humbug checked it. That's why I was talking about the big keys. Because there was a big key at Lumberjack. And Gamma now kind of remembering, I didn't check this. I should probably
check this is definitely a I forgot to do this kind of route.
Blue mail at the dam. You don't mind seeing that.
Oh no, he's actually climbing the mountain. We're doing the cack skip route, apparently.
Gamma over here, playing chess while the rest of us are playing checkers. And a big key at the dam, at the flooded item. Let's see what we got here. And yeah, the thieves sound big. That's one you both hate, well, you both love and hate to see it early, because until you get that Thieves Town small key, a lot of runners will just avoid Thieves Town like the plague, so that they don't abandon that Thieves Town big chest. Not me. I am not one of those runners.
Well, the small key is logically required before doing the
Right.
attic or the boss, so you're always guaranteed to have the small key before those 2 checks. So unless that one check in the maiden cell happens to lock the hammer in some way, then you're typically pretty safe from putting off the Beck of Thieves. But everyone's had that game where that chest was the hammer or the hookshot leading to the hammer or something.
Right. All right, Gamma going, let's see, south to north through Kakariko here after doing that
Could not
man rescue.
Could not begin to tell you why.
I think part of it is since he already did the Lost Woods area and has to come down to do these checks anyway. Doing this route, you can just save and quit from Blind's hideout without having to do all those screen transitions again.
Ooh, or he expects to find the Moon Pearl, and then he can just enter the Dark World up here.
That's
He
another
won't,
possibility as well.
But from his
He
point of
will
view, he might.
Yeah, and then there's just less backtracking to get to the top of Kakariko. Meanwhile, on Humbugg's side, we are in Mini Modorm Cave. So far, not finding a whole lot, but there is that Hyrule Castle Small putting the basement in logic, and a bow.
Of course, the bow means nothing to us at the moment,
Right.
but we are an Eastern Big Key from Full Clear.
Yeah.
Of
It does
that.
open, once we find the Moon Pearl, it does open an interesting decision point of, with only one pod small key right now, I kind of agree. I've heard a lot of runners saying this, and since playing in this tournament myself, it's like, you'll hear a lot of them say that one of the most interesting decision points in this mode is when a runner decides to go to pod. And with that bow, you might be a little more inclined to head there. Even only with one small key, since you have that hammer, you can get a lot of checks, even if many of them are out of logic.
Deciding when to go to pod is very often a huge turning point in a race. And it's not always I didn't have enough keys. Sometimes it's I had too many keys. There's no safe time to go to pod unless you can single dip it. Yeah, that's right. Gamma will have 2 keys for pod.
Sequence breaking the lamp at the waterfall ferry. On Humbug's side here.
This
about to
play-
open the chest.
This play Humbug's doing absolutely orphans Zora right now.
Yeah, I mean, without the money and without the flippers, I guess you could do a splash delete if something's on the ledge. But I don't hate this play. Without the Zora money.
Yeah, well, the concern is the glove is accessible. Like, we know that the Zora is the one check of all those checks that's in logic, and that's the one that Humbug's not doing.
Yeah, it looks like with that Hyrule Castle Small, Humbug's just going to go straight to Hyrule Castle, which...
Yeah, definitely a fair play, especially since we didn't do the Uncle start, so we have 2 extra checks here.
Right, and from his point of view, flippers could just be somewhere super free right now, leading to that lamp, and, this is the way to get our Dark World access, like, maybe I can't find my glove yet, but I have that Hyrule Castle Small putting back of escape in logic. That Hyrule Castle Small really makes routing this from a player standpoint really interesting, but as commentary and viewers, we have all that extra information from Gamma's side that we know that this probably won't pay off a ton, although we are running out of locations for significant progression.
I think front of Skullwood's a pretty fair spot to find, or front of Escape is a pretty fair spot to find our next progression. It's just because Humbug hasn't been to Eastern, he's going to spend more time here than normal, Death Warp, and go all the way to the back the long way.
Right.
All right, well, Gamma also sets up Water Walk. He'll probably do the same thing that Humbug did. But maybe he'll go one step further and check the ledge.
Possibly. Yeah, heading
Right,
straight
it's
to the
Gamma. He would
very
only
first.
check it if it was progression.
That is true. Alright, so is Gamma going to head to Zora or also make the play to the Hobo? Looks like the Hobo play. And he's going to show us the Hylia Island again, which we saw on Humbug's side, but I kind of missed it. Looked like a key. Yeah, just a small key on the island.
I'm surprised we didn't see a Houlihan from Gamma.
Yeah, prior to making this play.
Like, because you know in advance that you're planning to do this, to check these water checks.
Right. There's the Moon Pearl at Zelda's cell.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. So that's our logical Dark World access. This also gives Humbug the opportunity to nope out of Eastern sooner, because the hammer was in that very first check. You could just check that or that one in the second check, and then just leave and minimize the cost of the double dip.
Right. So Humbug heading to the back here while Gamma heads over and does the dam and then over to Agina. This will be our first time seeing Dark Cross, so this will be a new check here as well. Just 5 rupees.
Humbug getting bullied by all these enemies.
Yeah, I've noticed through quite a number of years now of playing Rando, like, things either cooperate fully or they don't cooperate at all, and there's like very little in between. Like, if you're getting hit by enemies, you're getting hit by enemies a ton. Just the nature of the beast.
I find the frustrating thing to be that when enemies aren't cooperating, it's usually when you really, really need them to.
Right.
Oh, I'm on 3 hearts green mail. Of course I'm not going to move out of the way.
We are seeing Humbug now heading over to Eastern Palace. Of course,
Yeah,
we know that
he's
this is
out
the
of
right
options.
play. And Gamma's going to head up to Hyrule Castle here at this point.
So when all's said and done, runners are going to be getting Dark World access pretty close at the same time.
Yep.
So the early play into Eastern certainly didn't hurt Gamma, but it didn't really send him spiraling forward either.
Yeah, and the only real difference as they converge on their Dark World access is Gamma having already done the
Old man.
old man rescue.
Why do runners always take bomb damage in that cave? Oh, in Agina's cave. Yeah, it's just the fastest way to get through the doorway. And since you're going to save and quit from that position anyway, like, being on low hearts doesn't matter. So as long as you can survive the bomb explosion and have the bombs to spare, there's no reason not to.
We do have Humbug staying in Eastern Palace. Not too surprising. You do have like full access to a lot of Dark World right now, but you don't really want to miss anything really important in these last couple chests. Since you're
Yeah, it's just a more thorough option. I mean, if you were going to leave, I think you'd want to leave after the second chest, because this is the first fork in the dungeon, right, where you go left or right.
Right.
But it's certainly not a bad idea to stay either, because especially in Key Sanity, where there's just a million things you need.
Right. Alright, Gamma about to get that Moon Pearl. Setting up the Death Warp. I did forget he still has to do Dark Cross.
Yeah.
I'm
Let's
half
sigh of relief.
surprised. I'm half surprised just because, you know, you mentioned earlier, like Gamma only goes to the correct places. That he didn't get that Moon Pearl and just save and quit. Alright, so it looks like Humbug, starting at Link's house, so is going to start off with Hype Cave. Still lacking a sword to be able to finish Skull Woods. This play makes a load of sense from a density standpoint, rather than starting at Village of Outcasts and going north to south.
Yeah, you want to put as much time as possible between now and going to Skullwoods to give you more opportunities to find like a sword or a logical third key, big key, etc.
And Hype Cave, so far, not very hype at all. Oh, 0 out of 10 Hype Cave, in my opinion.
Clutch full heal. That's got to be worth half a point.
All right, yeah, we'll give it 0.5 out of 10. We do have a pendant at Turtle Rock and a crystal at Mire. Humbug doing a quick map check to see if it's even worth talking to the bomb shop. Desert and Swamp are 5/6 crystals.
Oh, going east here instead of over to Dig Game.
Yeah, this might
Are
be
we going
the
to
early
pod, or are
pod
we
dip.
going, or is it just Catfish?
Yeah, at the very least, it's going to be Pyramid. I wouldn't be surprised to see Pyramid and then Pod if Humbug is the type of player to occasionally leave something unchecked.
Yeah,
Hook
on
shot.
Stumpy. You kind of want to leave Catfish for now, right? Because we want to pair that with Zora later. But nope, Humbug's going Catfish.
Yeah.
Okay, well now Zora is just like super orphaned.
Yeah.
It's not even regular orphan. This is like bitten by a radioactive spider orphaned.
Dig Game just giving us $20, and Gamma going to save and quit. Oh, and now going to just make the Death Mountain play. This makes a lot of sense, even though it's not in logic. Oh, the red cane at Catfish.
Is this not in logic?
Because the lamp is locked behind the flippers, which we don't know.
Oh
where they
right,
are yet.
yeah.
And we don't, and we haven't found the flute, so the flute would put this in logic as well.
Yeah, who wants to
But
flip
I mean-
these though anyway?
But it's also just like 100 billion checks to come over here. And it actually looks like Humbug about to head to the mountain as well, but without the hook shot.
Humbug's routing is going to keep him from getting that hook shot for a while. Because you don't want to go back to the southern entrance of the Dark World, because it's just
Correct.
2 checks now.
So it's really going to be a matter of once Humbug decides, you know, I can do Skull Woods. You know, he'll do Skull Woods, he'll do Thieves Town, and then get that hook shot. We do find another Pod Small and the Powder in Paradox Cave. And one check we did not see on Gamma's side that we will probably see from Humbug here is the Spectacle Rock checks. With Gamma, when he came up here earlier, he just saved the old man and save and quit.
Unfortunately, we're a bit a ways from being able to do Spike Cave, so it is just one check up here. Plus the vision of that big key on the rock.
Another big key, yeah. I missed what was on the floating island on Gamma's side. He checked it so quick.
Oh, I have no idea. All right, so Gamma going into Hera, for which we have no keys, but we do have a hook shot.
Yeah, so we can still get 4 checks out of here and our first dungeon completion.
Very clean.
Chat jamming out to Gamma's music here. And just $20, so we'll see if Moldorm decides to give us anything.
You don't really expect anything, right, when you do things out
No.
of logic like this, but you know, like maybe it's just, I don't know, the flippers and the big key in Thieves Town or something, and
it's the whole idea that, you know, even though you're out of logic here, you're hoping to find things that make the in logic plays more
better.
completable.
Yeah.
You know, like that extra pod small that Gamma had found. You know, that makes it so that when he gets to a pod, even though it might not be in logic, just more things that he can do. And yeah, our first crystal. Meanwhile, Humbug here in Skullwoods.
Skullwoods is pretty gross right now. Like there is a check in the back. It's 100% in logic to grab it, but boy, we don't want to do that.
Absolutely not. Fortunately, the I guess if you want to call it the middle of Skullwoods is a little more bearable with that red cane, not having to drag that statue around and deal with the Gibdos. And small key to GT in Spiral Cave.
Yeah, and with the Cane of Burna, he can now do Spike Cave.
Oh yeah, I was like, I'm not sure what this play is, but yes, Spike Cave and finally checking Spectacle Rock. And Humbug, yeah, skipping that chest in the back.
The bridge chest.
Completely reasonable, to be honest.
Yeah, this isn't surprising. In fact, I think the surprising thing is that he went to Skullwoods at all.
For me, the more surprising thing is that, not that he went to Skullwoods, because the front isn't too slow to do. It's that he went then to the middle chest and did not go the rest of the way to the bridge chest. But I don't live in his mind, and you know he's in the finals and I'm not. We did see another big key that is visible and locked behind other progression, and there's the cape at Spike Cave that will allow Gamma to get that big key. The first of our minimum 3 required Turtle Rock Smalls in C-shaped house. I'm curious here if Humbug decides to just do Thieves Town orphaning the big chest. More fetch quests in the shovel being in the brewery there.
So Gamma's routing here of Village of Outcasts is going to be a little more convenient than Humbug's because he doesn't want to do Skullwoods, but he doesn't have to do Skullwoods first. Because he's already done Dig Game, so he can start in Village of Outcasts and then work his way north, where Humbug hasn't, so he needed to do Skullwoods and work his way south if he wanted to get those checks.
And we are starting to find a lot of pod smalls, so I feel like we're going to see a pod dip from one of these runners a little sooner rather than later.
I think it's probably like the very next place we go. Well, Humbug might get the hook shot and then go to the mountain instead.
GT Big and Half Magic both in the front of Thieves Town here. One item that you like to see because it's required to beat the game, and another item that's nice to see because who doesn't like Half Magic? There's the Tower of Hera small, so a little bit of
and
potential.
logical access to the mountain.
Yeah, there's that flute. Yeah,
All right,
and
so this
leaving.
could be very bad for Gamma if that Hera basement is what locks everything, because that is the farthest place away from where Gamma is right now.
Yeah, and Gamma's not going to go back to that anytime soon. And if I remember correctly, I think Game 2, Hera basement was the answer. I believe Hera basement was what basically the Hera basement was basically what got Gamma the win in Game 2.
Humbug didn't continue south to Game and Stumpy.
He did not. He got that flute and was like, "I'm activating this flute."
It doesn't even do anything.
Yeah, it
didn't unlock any new checks for him.
It's a little.
All right, so we'll see Pod then, I guess.
Okay, so we're checking dig spot. While Gamma... Okay, I thought Gamma was going to continue in this dungeon. He's saying, I do not want to do this dungeon until I have the small key. So he is taking the Death Warp. There's the flippers at the dig spot.
Now we have a lamp and 4 in logic pod keys.
Yeah, and this is Humbug saying it's time for pod.
Yeah, he's got to go to pod. I mean, like, I'm sure he would choose the mountain if he had gone to Stumpy, but that didn't happen. Man, I can't believe he skipped Stumpy in Dig Game. That's crazy.
Yeah. But with how much other stuff he's found, like, I don't really think this is going to burn him like that.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
What I'm curious to see, though, is because of Gamma's routing here, and not much left to do in this area of the Dark World, does Gamma go show us Bridge Chest?
I think it's definitely a lot more likely that he'll do it than Humbug was going to do it, because, Gamma's just going to be able to save and quit from it instead of having to walk back to get to Village of Outcasts.
But unfortunately, leaving a big key to something, if he does, on the bumper ledge. These Gibdos not quite playing nice, but it's okay, because he's taken to Death Warp. I like this from Humbug, just using a key in the middle. I'll see a lot of runners will like do everything in their power to like avoid spending that key. But it wastes so much time, and we do find our first sword on Humbug's side in pod.
I did that a lot when I first started playing Key Sanity, was try to avoid spending that middle key.
Now it's like I only avoid it if I only have like 2 keys.
Yeah, eventually it just comes to the point where you start realizing, wow, you know what? This actually costs me a lot more time on average than it's saving me. Because almost every seed, keys end up not being a problem for pod.
Right. Like, logically, you need 6, but you can always get away with 5, and you're probably going to find 5 at some point.
Yeah, and if you only find 4, then you're only skipping like 1 check. It's not a big deal.
Right. Except for when that check is the thing you need.
Yeah, of course.
There's the Turtle Rock Big. So
Gamma did not go to the back.
Yeah, but Gamma's going to get this big key, so probably better. But we'll see. Meanwhile, Humbug here, heading to the back of pod. Let's see what big key this is. Hera, maybe.
Oh
No,
my God.
pod.
Freaking Gamma!
There's another GT small. Did Gamma set up the water walk here, or is this going to be a kern jump?
A splash
Oh, this is
delete.
just going to be a splash delete. And he's going to get his red cane here. This is like big brain routing from Gamma. Meanwhile, Humbug here heading to the pod maze for 2 more checks. Probably not going to find a whole lot here, but if you do, it's very good info because anything in here is locked behind 6 keys. But not finding anything of value in the maze there. Alright, so Gamma not heading straight down the pod.
Just doing the shovel.
I missed Humbug getting the mitts, but it had to have been in pod.
Yeah. Sword and mitts in pod.
Yeah. And Ether at King's Tomb. And Gamma just getting these flippers. And there's our Master Sword in
Always
Mire
nice to
Shed.
find. Well, finding the mitts is going to make Death Mountain a little more efficient for Humbug. Going to be able to get that all in one fell swoop.
Yep. And we did see Bombos required for Misery Mire.
Alright, so Humbug has run out of some options here, so he's going to have to go back to those couple checks that he skipped.
Yeah, and this makes a lot of sense now with those mitts being able to do some of the Smith sequence, and especially with Flute.
You think he'll pick up the Smiths after getting the hook shot here?
Oh, maybe not. Honestly, yeah, that's true. That's just probably dig game and then up to the mountain.
Yeah, it's just the hook shot just opened up like 50 checks all on its own.
Humbug going down towards Cave 45.
Yeah.
Just muscle memory and then being like, oh, I don't have the mirror.
he figured it out.
Yeah, and here's the pod play from Gamma.
Although he does have the big key and the bow, so he can kill Helma if he wants to.
Yep, and he could get every single check in the dungeon if, as we had kind of mentioned earlier, he kind of does the routing. That takes some time, but
Yeah, you have to
does
choose.
make it-
You have to
does
choose
make it so you
between-
don't orphan.
You can either full clear the dungeon or save the time and orphan 1 check. So on average, it's a lot better to just orphan 1 check here. But if you ever have to come back, it's probably better to just go down the bow side 3 times.
And we do see the Smith here from Humbug. I wouldn't be surprised, since Hammer Pegs is another check you get out of this, turning into Smith but not doing the purple chest yet. Just because you can turn in the Smith and then flute up to the mountain and just get, like you said, a minimum of like 130 checks. Oh, wow, yeah, the mitts were first chest. Okay.
Shows how much we were paying attention.
Right.
I remembered the sword. I didn't remember the mitts.
And of course, that's like the one check I very much remember not looking at the screen when he got. I was like, oh, I wonder what was there. Must not have been anything important.
All right, so Gamma's just going to open the middle door.
Yep, makes
Not
a lot
surprising.
of sense. There's another pod small on the smith.
All the keys. Where's the fifth one that Gamma got that Humbug didn't?
Oh, was it in Hera? No.
Oh yeah, maybe it was on the mountain.
Oh yeah, it was on the mountain. It was in Paradox Cave.
Okay.
Yeah, I had just forgotten that Humbug hadn't done like any of the mountain yet.
So this could really matter because Gamma's likely going to get everything in this dungeon, including killing the boss, except for one check.
And that check is almost certainly to be the vanilla big key chest.
Yeah. But Humbug, having already been to the dungeon but not killed the boss, he has to go back. But when he goes back, he'll have enough keys to get that one check that Gamma skipped. So for Humbug, it's going to be a clean double dip. And for Gamma, it's a very ugly double dip if he has to do it.
Right. Gamma doing the back, or doing Helma first. Not a very uncommon route.
Yeah, you do this to avoid having to death warp out of the dark maze.
Okay, it was just $20 up on the floating island that we missed seeing on Gamma's side. Alright, so here's the question. Does Humbug do Hera Basement with that small key?
That's a good question. Before the mitts, I would have said absolutely. But I think things are different now.
Gamma opening up with a couple bombs on Helma. Very clean Helma fight. And giving us the Skullwoods big key.
Oh, that's a nice sign for Gamma. He'll be able to go there and full clear it now.
Yep. And we're about to see Mordor on Humbug's side. Meanwhile, Gamma heading to the back of Pod, about to get his first sword.
All right,
First
Humbug, are we going back in? I would go back in, but I don't think it's like
Yeah,
an
he's
obvious
going
play.
back in.
Okay. I kind of would like to see him do this before doing Helma, or sorry, Moldorm,
Yeah.
because there is the possibility that this is the Hera Big Key in its vanilla
Yeah.
location, but it's pretty unlikely.
Maybe he's like, maybe
Yeah, he was banking on like, what if the
Mirror.
mirror is up top? Yeah. Intentionally getting hit by these tiles to prep a
set up
death
the
warp.
death warp. Gamma missing the hammer jump. Sheesh. And let's see what's in the chest here in Hera, if we find anything. A small key to Desert
Ooh.
Palace.
That could really matter, or it could be absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
What a wonderful, wonderful game mode we're playing.
I guess one could say logically required.
Yes.
But
Yeah, definitely keep in mind that small key is so far away for Gamma. Like, even if he had the mirror, like that's incredibly out of the way for him to go to Hera Basement.
yeah.
After having already done everything else on the mountain. So if the desert small key directly leads to some progression, we might not see Gamma get it for a long time. Currently, we have no way into desert, so there's still time for things to change.
We do find Quake on Gamma's side, and Gamma's just going to go immediately turn in that green pendant. Getting bullied by the Octorok there.
Humbugh also entering the Dark World from the bottom instead of going up to the Turtle Rock portal.
Yeah, a little. Well, I guess just with having just done Spiral Cave, this isn't.
Yeah, no, it's definitely like it sucks to have to reclimb Paradox, but with our current equipment set, that's the only way you could possibly get into Turtle Rock. Which we don't even know if it's Ether. Maybe it's not even Ether. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, he might be banking on it not being Ether just to save a very small amount of time to route this way.
Yeah, my concern is we already have Turtle Rock keys. I have a medallion. I have swords. I have the
There's
fire rock.
combos.
All right, well, that's access to Meyer.
Yeah, and that's all
6
three. All 3 medallions across the 2 runners. Yeah, Humbugh's just going. Oh, I thought he was just going straight into Hookshot Cave, but just lifting the rock first and showing us.
All right, and it's
Bombos.
okay. So it wouldn't have mattered because he wouldn't have had the medallion until after the fact.
I think Gamma's going to show us the rest of Skull Woods here. Which makes sense. There's still 3 checks that we can get out of this, and we have to clear all the dungeons, so why not? Hookshot Cave with another one of our Turtle Rock Smalls.
Second Turtle Rock key gets us quite a bit farther in the dungeon.
Yeah.
But not quite far enough.
And there's the Thieves Town Small in the
All right, that'll be another dungeon to full clear.
Yeah, Gamma's going to head straight there after this Skull Woods. I'm fairly certain. Humbugh about to get his cape out of Spike Cave.
We are playing AD keys. This is all dungeons key sanity. So key sanity meaning that all the keys are shuffled in the general item pool, and all dungeons means we have to fight all the bosses. Whether or not Ped has something, which at this point we could not possibly know.
Let's see where Humbugh's going to head off to here next. Probably straight to that big key that he saw on Bumper Ledge a little while back, which we know to be the Pod Big. Oh yeah, chat pointing out that Thieves Town Small is logically locked behind all of the pod smalls, so probably not going to lead to anything big. It could, but it's
we have
far
5
down
out of
logic.
6.
Yeah, it's just pretty far down logic, depending on where that 6th pod small is.
Yeah, it could just be like the first chest of Turtle Rock or Meyer or something. We may see Humbugh go back to Pod pretty soon.
Yeah.
Looks like he's going to kill Mothula, though. I know there was a
makes sense.
key in the big chest. What was it? Do you remember?
It was the Thieves Town Small.
Right. So that's unfortunate.
So not checking the bridge chest early. Did not burn either of these runners. It was just bombs.
Yeah, without the Skullwood's big key, this also gets orphaned. But no worse than Zora and Hera Basement.
Yeah. So here's going to be the Moth Kill from Humbugh. Gamma getting his Ether Medallion.
Straight to Thieves? Yep, straight to Thieves.
Makes a lot of sense to head to Thieves. I wouldn't be surprised if the next play for him then ends up being Dark Death Mountain. Probably really putting off Misery Mire until you find the big key. That's a dungeon you just really hate to double dip.
Well, Gamma can't go to Mire anyway. Because Dark Death Mountain has the medallion.
I thought oh yeah, they're both Bombos, right. For some reason I had it in my head that Mire was Ether. That was my mistake.
So when Gamma does go to Dark Death Mountain and gets Bombos, though, it unlocks Turtle Rock and Mire at the same time.
Yep. We do have Ice Palace as an option for these runners. Another one of those that you kind of want to wait until you have at least one small key just to make routing a little bit more efficient.
Yeah, and then the big key situation in Ice Palace is like the midway point between the small key in Thieves and the big key for like Skullwoods.
Yeah.
Because unlike Skullwoods, it's required for more than just one check, right? But unlike Thieves Town, there's a lot more in the dungeon that's available without it.
Right. Hey, there's our silver arrows in the Thieves Town attic. You always like to find that. And yeah, here's the rest of Pod from Humbugh.
And we will see the vanilla big key chest here from Humbugh because he has all 5, or he has 5 of the 6 keys. So this is a really strong opportunity for Humbugh's route to prove superior to Gamma's.
Okay, let's see the maiden chest here. $1.
Why would it be superior? If it had progression in this chest that Gamma skipped. And nothing in the Thieves' big chest, so if Humbugh ends up going there without finding that small key, it's not going to be a big deal.
Yeah.
Nope,
Although I do
just
feel like-
money.
Yeah, I do feel like Humbugh will find that small key before Thieves Town because he'll get the Skullwood's big key here shortly. And since that check is like basically on your way to Thieves Town, and I only think that he would get that because if you're a runner like both of these did, where you're purposely avoiding Thieves Town until you find that small key, you will go out of your way to Skullwoods to look for that small key.
There's a limit though, right?
Yeah.
You can't just put it off forever. Sometimes it becomes the best play. But I think you're right that the Skullwoods big chest isn't that far out of the way.
Yeah, like if something is way further out of the way, like, yeah, you're going to skip it. But I don't think we're going to see that on Humbugh's side. Gamma heading over here. Going to do the first half of the Smith chain at least.
This is so surprising to me. I feel like fluting all the way back to Kakariko just to turn this guy in is so slow. And when you have other things available, like he still has Dark Death Mountain, it's very likely he could get into Turtle Rock from his point of view.
That is true.
Like, we got options. We don't have to do Mirrorless Smiths yet.
The real surprising thing would be if Gamma were to
Go to Pod with his 5th key.
not even that, but
that would be crazy.
Also do Purple Chest.
Oh yeah.
If he goes to Pod just to get that one extra chest, like
it's not progression. He wouldn't do it.
Yeah, that's true. Like, I'll just be done. Okay, here's the Pod Small.
All right, now he just goes to the mountain, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Nope.
Oh, or Ice Palace.
Ice? Or is this Zora? This is Zora.
This is Zora, yeah. Let's see, Zora Ledge. A small key. So we'll see what small key this ends up being. And King Zora giving us 3 bombs for 500 rupees. Not a bad deal. Humbugh getting his Quake Medallion. Save and quit to the mountain.
It's a Castle Tower Small.
That is a Castle Tower Small. Looking at let's see. At Gamma side here, we're seeing a Dark Death Mountain play. Humbugh going to go turn in that green pendant.
All right, so with where the Bombos medallion is, there's no chance of Gamma getting debated into going to 2 key Turtle Rock on this trip. But after he does this and he gets the Bombos medallion, it looks like he mostly has to choose between going to Mire with no big key, Turtle Rock with only 2 small keys, or Ice Palace with no big key or small keys.
It's Ice Palace 100% of the time, I think. If you have a 3rd TR small, it's TR easily.
I would have gone to Mire. That's funny. Like, that was your 3rd option. That was my 1st.
But not without the big key, though.
Well, I think for me, when I think about Mire, it's you can't get into the triple dip, right? There's no way. The big key is all I need to full clear it.
Yeah.
So it would only be the double dip at most.
Yeah, just getting 2 relevant checks in Mire is like so slow. I hate it. I hate doing it without the big key, unless it's like the absolute last thing I have left. We do find our first bottle on Humbugh's side in the Pengator chest. Let's see. Gamma's starting here. Going to flute. Let's see if we're fluting to.
No.
Nope. We're just running the Ice Palace.
All right. Well, everybody picks ice in our race.
But yes, so far Ice Rod not giving us much other than that first bottle. Still a good number of checks though here. And the double freezer chest just with a compass.
Pretty empty so far.
Yep. And unfortunately, just because of no small key when coming into the dungeon, we do have to take the long path around to the iced tea room. Which, as a runner, you don't really like this having to be the case, but on both runners' sides, I think you're almost expecting that your opponent probably doesn't have an Ice Palace Small as well. There just hasn't really been a whole lot of good opportunity for major route divergences.
Yeah, not at this time. It's just little things here and there.
Yep.
The biggest difference so far that hasn't been resolved is that Desert Palace small key.
But we have no way into desert, so
Yeah, so I mean, like there's been other
Oh, yeah.
things, but they've all led to nothing. Like there was nothing in
Right.
the Thieves Big, there was nothing in the Pod. Vanilla Big Key. Zora was a play that Gamma did that Humbugh didn't, but it didn't really lead to much.
yeah, I mean, we're going to have to do it eventually because of that castle tower key. But
Yeah.
at this immediate point in time, it's not much. Gamma wanted to open that that
It's like,
floor, I guess.
Oh yeah, I don't have a big key.
And he also has the hook shot, so that was a bomb just to spend a bomb, I guess.
Small key to this
to
dungeon.
this
Nice.
dungeon and our
Thanks.
red pendant.
So that was a whole lot of nothing.
Yeah, Ice Palace. I think if you're Humbugh, you just immediately go to Sick Kid just to see if
Yeah.
you should feel good
It's
about
like
that
the
play or
one
not.
thing you found.
But after that, it might be the Meyer play. I think it's a coin flip between Meyer and TR.
Double dipping Meyer is much less painful.
It is. But TR just has so many more checks right now. Although I guess Laser
it?
Bridge.
It's still
Laser
6
Bridge is-
items in Meyer.
Yeah, that's true. And Laser Bridge isn't in logic.
Yeah.
Then again, left side of Meyer, I don't believe is in logic either, because a lot of that's locked behind all the Meyer smalls.
Well, I think the difference there, though, is that you're skipping Meyer Smalls, which you don't need to finish the game,
Yeah,
versus
right,
Laser
right,
Bridge is skipping TR Smalls, which you do need.
There's that Ice Palace small for Gamma. Humbugh fluting away to
Zora.
Going to get the Zora checks here. So not going to
might
get burned
see-
by that small.
We might see Humbugh go to Thieves Town before Meyer as well.
Oh, yeah, that's a possibility as well. Gamma getting the flute out, which says to me that this is likely the Meyer dip at this point. Nope, I am being proven. Oh, the Sick Kid. Duh. To get his 300 rupees. And where are we off to? Meyer.
Meyer. Nobody wants to double dip anything. It would be super nice if we could always have all the keys. But if you're gonna double dip something, I don't think Meyer is not the worst.
Yeah. I just always think about like fluting to 6 and then entering and then doing Meyer 2 and then getting through the like the lobby.
That's like 3 rooms.
Yeah,
That's way worse than like Eastern or Turtle Rock or something.
fair. Okay, very clean mire too. And yeah, I'm going to go up here and check the Skullwood's big chest. We'll get
All right,
that
which
Thieves
will
Town small and
yeah lead them
immediately
straight to
head.
Thieves.
Yeah.
Like where else could you go? Gamma skipping the Firelock chest, or he just wants to do this first?
Hey, there's one of those Skullwood smalls
Yeah, that's our last one.
that we don't care about.
I don't know how many keys you need to put the Firelock chest in Logic. It might be all of them. I have no idea.
Oh, here in Misery Mire?
Yeah.
I believe it is 3. And we are seeing the cutscene chests from Gamma, which we did not see from him in Game 2. Although Game 2 was an interesting one. I believe at the point in time where Gamma skipped this, the only thing he was looking for was the GT Big Key.
Yeah, that's a pretty common thing to skip when you like one item from Go mode. It's probably just in GT.
Humbugh getting the God Pixel there in the Hellway there in Thieves Town. Very nice. Meanwhile, Gamma has 3 more checks here in Misery Mire. Before showing to us that the play is probably Turtle Rock.
Nah, it's Mire. It's gotta be Mire.
Okay, the big key to Eastern.
Eastern.
Okay, game.
That doesn't really do a whole lot. It's just a couple checks, but it's required, so we're happy.
And our last 2 checks, just a piece of heart and a small key to Ice Palace.
So you should have gone to Mire first. Could have saved some time.
All right, so
No reason not to go to Eastern here.
yeah, but interestingly, Gamma really needs full health for Eastern Palace. So started at the old man to get that full health refill. So that
is that something you think about every time you save and quit? I don't know. I feel like I just start at Mountain Cave, get the full health no matter what I'm gonna do next.
I actually have just started at Link's house if I knew I was going to like Eastern Palace. But I do understand the autopilot.
I try to avoid picking up the pots in Link's house because that is significantly slower.
Yeah, I'm just more making fun of the fact that if I'm going to Eastern Palace, I don't need the extra health.
Oh, you get sword beams for this room though. There you go.
That's true. Okay,
it was
it's all
worth
optimization. That's true.
I mean, the bow strat's faster, but that's fine, I guess.
Alright. So not a whole lot in the big chest of Eastern. We'll see what Armos has for us.
We're getting purple chests from Humbugh.
Oh, let's see if that's God, if
I hate talking to the old man when you have the purple chest following you. Because the room's so tiny. So you don't have as Like you drop the purple chest every time you talk to him.
I know.
And then you have
It's
to like kind of
miserable.
maneuver around, but there's not enough room to see very clearly if it's still following you. The mirror
Oh
purple
my
chest.
God.
Oh my goodness.
This game.
And we're gonna go get that big key up here, I guess.
Oh, for sure.
Which could be Meyer.
Yeah, if it's the Meyer big, like. Yeah. I mean, what big keys are we missing? We're missing Meyer, Ice, Swamp, Hera. So yeah, 4 big keys that we're still missing here. And it is the Tower of Hera big key, so
Well,
immediately
we're right
just
here,
going right
so.
back in. Yep, and this is the Turtle Rock play from Gammachuu.
I don't think it's at all reasonable to expect to see Hera Basement from him. But if he wanted to do it, it would be now.
Right, right. The good-ish news for the Turtle Rock dip here is it's not completely unreasonable to expect a Turtle Rock small to be in Turtle Rock right now.
Yeah, he may end up getting the boss at the end of this.
Gamma? That says Bombos, not Ether.
He wanted to toss the burb. All right, well, we got Humbug and Desert, so this is a very important moment because if there's anything locked on the right side behind that small key, it's going to be really hard for Gamma to get it. And like even after Gamma finally does the purple chest and gets a mushroom, it's not like Hera Basement is the first thing you do, right?
Right, right.
Okay, so far just a mushroom.
Yeah, not a whole lot here so far. Of course, unless that mushroom leads to something.
All right, on the right side of Desert, we have just 20 rupees. Okay, one more check. Okay, it was nothing. Gamma's safe. Hera Basement will probably never get checked. Oh yeah, he might do it whenever he goes to get that big key. That's true.
Which, unfortunate for him. And we're going to see Land Molus here very shortly on Humbug's side, while Gamma is heading to the back of Turtle Rock here in the Chain Chomp room. Finds a red potion. Probably a very welcome find for Gamma, considering he got full health before going into Eastern Palace. You know, probably very happy to find something that can refill his health on the go.
Turaka, a little bit more dangerous.
I just feel like giving him a hard time about needing full health for Eastern. Alright, so let's see how this Lamo fight goes here on Humbug's side.
Pretty well.
Yep. Very clean, just giving us a compass, so other than maybe that mushroom, nothing of note in Desert Palace. Although it was one of our 5-6 crystals, and we can get into Swamp Palace as well, which is our other 5-6.
Yeah, Swamp's looking really good for having progression right now. Where did we find the Eastern Big? That was Meyer,
Eastern
right?
Big was in Meyer, yes.
Yeah, okay. So I wonder if Humbug is going to go in there. Like, I'm sure he would have originally, but, you know, now we have the mirror.
He's not going in there anytime soon, I don't think.
Like, Swamp just looks better.
Yeah, Swamp will probably have the Meyer Big, and then you just go with that Meyer Big and do it all in one trip. Gamma heading here to Laser Bridge for the last 4 checks that we're going to be able to see here. And yep, Humbug heading here into Swamp Palace. We find our 3rd bottle. A not very useful map. Our other green rupee. And a Meyer.
Alright, so unfortunate that he's not going to be able to kill Trinex on that trip.
So if you are Gamma, I mean, this looks like the purple chest.
Yeah, I mean, what else are you going to do?
Yeah, your only other option right now is...
Hera Basement.
Hera Basement. I don't think we ever saw Pyramid from Gamma. And...
Agate Tower.
We still haven't seen Agate Tower from either runner.
Where was Mirror? Yeah, purple chest. Gamma's about to get it. Super fun spot for the mirror.
You hate to see it there as a runner. As a viewer, it's always hilarious.
Two of my main tournament qualifiers hit frickin' mirror on purple chest.
That's unfortunate. Alright, so where is Gamma off to next? This looks like desert. If you're Gamma, do you even spend the time scumming the small key? Or do you just hope there's nothing right side?
In Key Sanity, I would never scum the key here.
Yeah, it looks like he is not scumming. Left side swamp, true to its nature, always having a sword.
I mean, I guess you could make a case for it if it's like not all dungeons and this is a pendant or something. But I think in the event that Lambo is 100% required, it doesn't really... It's very unlikely to help you to force yourself to get the small key. Just because you found like something over there on the right side.
Right.
And if there is something on the right side, then that just means that the small key is going to show up eventually anyway.
There's a the last pod small is in Swamp Palace.
It's not always so easy to tell who's ahead or behind. even in a 1v1 race like this. But
Yeah,
I think
it's very close.
Humbugh probably has the advantage, but it's not like he's super far ahead or anything.
Right, and honestly, by the time he gets to Turtle Rock, he may still have to get all the checks that Gamma has already done.
Yeah, he may even go there before finding the third key.
Right. Because we still haven't found that second agate tower small, so until you find that, you're basically checking everything on the way.
We haven't really found anything great here yet.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised at Swamp Palace coming up as empty as it has been here.
We got the sword, but
yeah,
that's not really good enough.
Which the Master Sword to Temper Sword jump is very nice.
But after this, we'll have a really nice route into Pyramid Ferry, and then we can mirror over and get 2 checks in Agate Tower as well.
Oh,
and if we find Meyer Big Key or the third Turtle Rock Key, that's a lot of efficiency for Humbugh, having not been to either of those dungeons.
And we do have the possibility of those Turtle Rock Smalls may be in Ganon's Tower.
Yep.
Yeah, we do have the Meyer turn in here from Gamma, which I don't think we saw on Humbugh's side.
Oh, we're getting the key on the island over Pyramid Ferry.
Oh, yeah. I kind of forgot that there was a small key here.
I did as well. Nope, Cherokee. All right.
Turtle Rock.
So do we go back for Pyramid Ferry now, or are we waiting? We're going right back. Okay.
Yeah, right back for it. Makes sense. It's well from our standpoint where we know there's not much in Turtle Rock. Like the only added checks that we could get from Humbugh is Mimic Cave and Trinex. Humbugh, Cave 45. I was like, where is Humbugh going?
The important thing is he'll kill Trinex in one trip. That's a pretty significant time save over Gamma, who's going to have to go all the way back through the dungeon again.
Yep, for sure.
Four Turtle Rock keys is logical to full clear the dungeon to kill the boss, but you can do it on 3 by skipping the lava chest.
We are seeing the Pyramid Ferry here from Humbugh.
It's bomb dupe.
And Pyramid Ferry giving us our last sword.
Is this even rando?
$20.
Are we going to take this route the whole way? Are we checking Graveyard Ledge and the Mushroom as well?
I don't know about Graveyard Ledge. Yeah, we do still have that.
It's not as bad, because we already did Catfish, right? So like you can just leave from Graveyard Ledge instead of having to backtrack.
Yeah. There's Red Mail. Yeah, and Gamma's skipping left side swamp here.
At least attempting to. Although when you find nothing here in the bag, you kind of probably go back in, right?
It's hard to say. I feel like in AD keys, if you're not getting it on your first trip through, you're probably skipping it.
No graveyard ledge. No mushroom. Oh, doing the mushroom from the light world.
Yep. And Humbug finding his heart container and just leaving it there.
All right, Turtle Rock's the play.
Yeah. Oh.
Getting Dead Rock though. No.
And just save and quitting to Mountain Cave. Yeah, we know all Gamma's really skipping. If he doesn't come back in, is just a sword, which, if he goes up to the pyramid, that's not really going to really hurt him, because the difference between tempered and gold sword for runners of this caliber is basically zero.
Nothing. Yeah.
It makes it so you can zero cycle Trinex, which isn't a massive time save over just one cycling. Oh, but he is going back in. Okay. And it also makes the Ganon 1/1 completely free, as opposed to like 90% free.
Oh, it's the butter sword. I guess I don't have to try anymore. That's what I usually think.
Yeah, I guess thinking back to kind of how you said it, like not finding anything in the rest of those checks in Swamp Palace makes coming back in for left side a little bit more appetizing.
Yeah, because like if Gamma had found the Meyer big key in the back, that unlocks Ganon's tower. Yeah. You know, it's
right.
You have so many more things to do that it greatly outvalues the left side swamp. But when you find nothing, it's like, okay, well now it's left side swamp or Pyramid Fairy or Aga Tower or Hera Basement or Graveyard Ledge. You know, it's not as clean. All right, so we have seen all these checks already from both runners. They're just walking over each other's footprints. Humbug, though, will be able to get some extra checks here in Turtle Rock.
Yeah, we'll be getting an extra 2 checks plus our third pendant, giving us access to the pedestal.
Fun.
Yeah, I'm going to go get that Turtle Rock Small and probably be a little upset. I mean, you're expecting a Turtle Rock Small to pop up somewhere, right? So...
Well, probably not that too upset, right?
Yeah.
Because, you know, this was locked behind the mirror on purple chest. It's pretty likely your opponent also did Turtle Rock first. He didn't, but he probably did. Oh, going right back to Turtle Rock, though. This is surprising.
This is the big key. This is the Hera big key.
Oh, right, the Hera big. Do you think we'll see Hera Basement?
Oh, man. Probably.
Yeah, I just thinking about like what Gamma has left to do. Everything's awful.
And it's not so much that it's awful, it's just like you're still looking for 2 keys, which can basically be anywhere.
All right, here's that previously unseen check for Humbug. Just some rupees.
Yep. All right. Okay, I'm about to get their 3 bombs. And yep, here's the Hera basement on Gamma's side. The question will be if we see anything on Trinex. Depending on where
Probably
that
not.
fourth, depending on where that 4th Turtle Rock key is, which very well could be in GT.
Yeah, super likely it's just in GT, locking nothing.
Yeah. Although could be the we could just have our last our second Agate Tower key just sitting in the lava chest.
That would be the great equalizer.
All right, where are we off to? Gamma heading right back over to Turtle Rock, it would seem. Meanwhile, Humbug heading up to fight Trinex. I guess technically down to fight Trinex.
All right, so what do we have left? We have Graveyard Ledge.
Graveyard Ledge. We have...
Is that
might
it?
actually... logically, yeah, I think Graveyard Ledge has to have something.
Oh my god. Do
'Cause
you
it
remember
can't be-
earlier when
it can't be
Humbug was
pedestal
doing
because we don't know where the last TR small is yet.
you remember earlier when Humbug was doing Pyramid Fairy and he had like one step further to go to get to Graveyard Ledge?
Yeah.
So close.
Yeah, I think Graveyard Ledge has to be either the Meyer small. Well, it has to be one of our big keys, or it has to be the book, or it has to be the other Aga small, or the TR small. So it's basically one of a bunch of keys, or it's the book, with like 0 other options, unless I'm really not thinking about what could be there.
I think you got it. So we're going to blind pull pet here for Humbug. This is, like we said before, this is not in logic, so it's unlikely to be the answer, but it could be
If
an
it is
answer.
something, we basically know that the TR small is at Graveyard Ledge. And the pet does have a shield.
Nice. And we're fluting away. No Graveyard Ledge yet. Although
From
this
Humbug's
makes
side,
a lot of sense. You know,
yeah, why
it's
go
Meyer
to
for 6
that
items.
when Meyer, yeah.
And then this is going to lead to his Eastern Big Key, and then he'll full clear the rest of the Eastern. And then we'll just be back where we started.
Yep. I was starting to worry a little bit on Gamma's side, but the second trip through Turtle Rock, having come straight over from Hera, and being able to skip all those chests on the way, like at the very beginning of Turtle Rock, Laser Bridge, etc., Yeah, you spent time double dipping this, but not a ton.
Well, he's had a pretty efficient route otherwise.
Yeah.
But it does look like he's making up ground. He might be ahead, actually. After all that. And it just depends on like how long it takes him to get to Graveyard Ledge. Whoever goes Graveyard Ledge first is going to be in the advantageous position.
I wouldn't be surprised if Graveyard Ledge is the other Castle Tower small, leading to... Well, wait.
You're so
Hold on.
hopeful. It's going to be the Meyer Big Key, and then the Castle Tower is just in GT.
Oh wait, hold on. Am I mixing this race up with one of the other races of this series? What did we see at Lumberjack? Was it a big key?
Oh right, it was a Big Key.
Okay, so I'm not making that up. Okay.
Okay, so
that's what
that
I'm saying.
it might be Castle Tower Small then.
Yeah,
leading
Castle
to
Tower
Meyer
small leading to the Meyer Big Key at Lumberjack.
Big. Still the possibility that the Lumberjack Key is just Swamp.
Yeah.
Or Ice, which is also a pendant.
All right, so here's the Pyramid Fairy play from...
I'm surprised he's doing this over Desert. I would have thought him to go to Desert first to see if the hair basement was worth.
I mean, I don't believe Gamma's done Pyramid itself yet, so this is basically 5 checks over 2. Even though he got that Desert Key from the basement, you're probably assuming that your opponent also did it, and if it's something you're just
Well, if
behind.
if he doesn't get anything here in these 5 checks, does he continue on to Graveyard Ledge, or does he mirror and go to Desert for 2 items? Because 2 is more than 1, right?
You go to Desert for 2 items because it's going to take just about the same amount of time to get to like do those 2 checks as it would just to get to Graveyard Ledge. I believe Humbugh skipped cutscene chest in Mire.
I have no idea. Probably.
Like, he was in and out of Mire so fast. Yeah, chat confirming he skipped that chest. Alright, and Gamma heading into Aga Tower. Alright, both runners following in each other's steps of things that they've done earlier, just in a different order. So we're going to see these runners converge pretty soon.
Gamma? Where you going, Gamma? He's going Graveyard Ledge!
He is.
Of course he is. It has progression.
Right. You know, never mind the fact that he has, like, that and, like, a couple
And
other
Desert.
things left. He hasn't pulled the ped, and I don't think he's done K45. Which we did see from Humbugh.
Alright, so Humbugh finishes up Eastern, but doesn't get anything. Now he'll have to decide whether to go to Graveyard Ledge or back to Mire.
Yeah, so until we find that that second Castle Tower small, and then of course the Mire big, it's tough to say. Yeah, there's a big key. Which one is it? Mire. Okay.
Oh, I was hoping for Ice.
So feeling Gamma's a little ahead.
Well, Humbugh's headed straight to Graveyard Ledge right now, but
Yeah.
he's trailing at the moment. Which is surprising with the Turtle Rock double dip, because that was really costly, but I guess he just had enough efficiency and skipped enough things elsewhere.
Yep. And the only other thing to Humbugh's benefit here is that he has done quite a number of checks that Gamma has not, that Gamma could choose to do, but I think over heading to GT, the only one of those checks that we'll see Gamma do is mirror after finishing Mire to go do those 2 quick checks in Desert.
Yeah.
I don't see any world in which Gamma doesn't go straight to GT after those sequence of checks over doing like the PED or K45 or the one remaining pod check that he could go do.
Yeah, that's just not going to happen. But when all's said and done, we're going to get to GT pretty close to each other. And we're only 1 item from Go mode, so it's just Castle Tower small key hunt. GT routing could decide everything.
All right. And yeah, Humbugh's going to skip the cutscene chest again here. Makes tons of sense. Actually, this is interesting routing.
This is just a faster way to get to the back.
Okay.
Instead of going through the compass room.
Interesting.
Although I think it's still faster to go through the right side since he has a small key.
Right.
But when you go past, because you're doing the big chest without having hit the switch, then the blocks are keeping you from going north from there.
They're your way. Yep. Makes a whole lot of sense. Yep. And just a heart container on Vidi. So this is going to come down potentially to one of 2 things. So execution, obviously, but potential differences in GT routing, as weird as it is to say that. And Gamma not doing those 2 checks in Desert. So what I thought was going to be a little bit of a chance for Humbugh to gain a little ground is not happening.
I don't know, I guess Gamma thinks like, well, there's already like 4 other things that completely destroy me if it's there, so might as well add 2 more to that.
I mean, it is also like a density thing. Like, do you really think that other Castle Tower key is in 2 checks in Desert versus, all of GT? But going back to the
like you're right there though.
the GT routing could be a little bit of a difference. We did see in game 2, Gamma did, I believe, right side and then went left, whereas although you very rarely see it might have been a first for me, Humbugh did Dark Magician routing in Key Sanity.
Yeah, that's not normal, I guess. Abnormal.
But yeah, if the other Agus Small is just like on the way in GT, it's an uphill race for Humbugh. But if like there's an item in GT that leads to the small, like elsewhere, like Gamma still has a bunch of...
Yeah, then everybody full clears everything.
Right. And then it's just a matter of...
Nope, it's all over.
There it is. So at 142.05-ish, Gammachuu enters Go mode. finding that last castle tower small. So yeah, it is all down to execution here. We'll see if Humbug decides to Dark Magician again. Gamma giving that little spike a good number of arrows for good measure. And Humbug, yeah, going left side first.
What? Why wouldn't you check that key? Wait, how do you know? Can you tell? Really? Alright, well
the swamp big.
This is new information for me. I didn't realize you could tell if it's vanilla or not by the color.
Yeah, Humbug doing the Dark Magician round again, so losing a little bit of time, but not nearly as much as if he had gone full left, like a number of runners, myself included, would have done in that scenario. And yeah, at 143.38, Humbug enters go mode. Meanwhile, Gamma making very quick work at the gauntlet in the GT climb. Humbug gonna have to be a little careful with arrows here. Down to his last 4, although there's a few opportunities to get some arrows here in the climb. Just has to make sure to make it through that first room. Yep. Humbug not grabbing more arrows in that mimic room. Going to have to get some in the gauntlet.
Unfortunately for Humbug, there's not that much opportunity here to make up time on Gammachuu. Barring some major mistake from Gamma, he has a significant lead here.
Yeah, you know, like falling on Modorm 2 like a couple times, and then falling in Ganon, dying on the Aga fight, accidentally mirroring from the Aga
so
fight,
there are chances for Humbug to take the lead here, but it's all on Gamma's side.
Right.
It's things that Gamma has to screw up rather than things that Humbug has to do well.
And Gamma about to enter the Aga 2 fight as Humbug finishes the gauntlet, enters the Lambo 2 fight. Down to 2 arrows, they're going to have to pick up a quick refill in the post-Lambo room. Or not. Oh, he'll get arrows in Castle Tower. There's some pots on the way in Castle Tower with
circle of pots.
Yep. You know, you have to know your NMG.
As much as I like 80 keys, this is the worst part right here.
Yep.
You full cleared the game, you're in go mode, you can finish everything. Now spend an extra 4 minutes climbing Aga Tower.
I believe it was my very first race of this tournament. I just dropped down into Ganon, got through, fortunately, only phase 1, and it was like, wait.
He tells you right away.
Does he? I thought you had to wait till the last phase.
No, if you haven't finished the goal, he says something on that very first text box.
I never pay attention to the text box, so...
I think it's a different number of boxes. So like even if you don't read, you might notice like, wait a minute, there weren't enough text boxes. That's weird.
Oh, maybe I did see him call me a dingus. You know what? You're right. You're right. All right, Humbug in the Agatu fight. Let's see, Gamma about to get through the dark rooms of Aga Tower. Some really tricky Agatu patterns this afternoon. Nothing too bad though. Looks like Humbug has a nice three phase. All right, and Humbug about to enter the Castle Tower climb as well. Also, I just want to shout out Gamma's MSU today for just having some really, really solid music in it. From
what is it? I've been listening to Humbug.
Gamma is just doing like it's just a bunch of music from various Super Nintendo games. So we had some Storm Eagle action from Mega Man X. We had some Norfair from Super Metroid. There's just been some certified cat jams all around. Aga 1 being really rude with the blue balls today.
Yeah, he does that. So what exactly did Gamma get to skip this seed? He didn't do Vanilla Big Key in Pod. He didn't do Desert Palace right side.
Yeah, didn't do Cave 45. And
Did he
pull
not?
ahead. Yeah, Humbug was the only one that did Cave 45 on their way to... When did Humbug do that?
He did it before Pyramid Fairy, but
Okay.
after getting the Turtle Rock key on the island.
Right. Alright, into the Ganon fight for Gammachuu. Yeah, and again, how I mentioned earlier, the Gold Sword just making this a fight you really don't even need to think for during.
I don't know why he's spinning.
Gamma just doing Gamma things, I think. Very nice torch glitch there. Not necessarily needed, but made the fight go a little bit quicker there. And looks like Ganon is down on Gammachuu's side. Barring an unfortunate fall trying to get across the bridge. Get your GGs in chat for Gammachuu.
GG.
Yeah, and GG to Gammachuu finishing with a race time GG time of 1:51.27 and is your 2022 AD Keys Tournament champion.
At least it was pretty close. I mean, your opponent finishing when you're on the Ganon fight. That's a close race.
Very, very, very close race. Up to the last minute, basically, with, finding that Meyer Biggie. Yeah, meanwhile, Humbug finishing up the Ganon fight. It's not going to be very far behind. And in phase 4, it's a nice 2 hits.
Oh, this is a triple
Had to be
rare.
Careful there.
Oh, yeah, I thought he was going to get the triple from underneath.
Yeah, well, he got a double on the first, so only needed 2 more shots, but that almost falling off there, you know, you got to be a little bit careful. And everybody get your GGs in chat for Humbug. Finishing as the runner-up for this tournament with a racetime.gg time of 1:53.06, about a 1 minute 40-second difference between these runners, so very close. And we are joined by both Gammachuu and Humbug. GGs to both of you.
GG's, Gamma.
Hey, Humbug, GG's.
Hey, GG's. Oh,
Another
It was close.
wonderful
It was
seed,
close.
right?
yeah, that was. Oh, man. Like, okay, so. I feel like if I have any chance, if I should have any chance against Gamma here, I need to, first of all, play well, which I felt like I did partially. But I also need some other, I don't know, advantage or whatever. And I felt like I got that of the pod big key. I'm not sure how early you got the cape, Gamma, but I got it basically on my first trip to the mountain.
The cape, I got it, I want to say relatively early in the first trip up the mountain.
Yeah,
I did
okay.
hype. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Gamma,
Did you go
Gamma
with-
had that cape pretty early compared to you, Humbug.
Yeah, he
But,
single
like-
dip pod.
Oh,
yeah,
great.
single dip pod and orphan to check that we were.
How did you get through Spike Cave with no bottles and no burn? Wait,
Yeah,
no, you
Hook Game was
got
in
you
hell.
got hook shot the first time. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
I see. All right.
Otherwise, I was never going to do that.
Yeah,
I held
yeah.
off on doing Spec Rock to see if maybe I could combo in with Spike Cave. And
Yeah.
the burner came just in handy. Like, okay, perfect. I'll do that after Spiral Cave.
Yep.
That ended up being like the main cause of any differential between your routing was that hook shot.
Yep.
Because Gamma went over to Dig Game after hype and you went up to Catfish. And then everything stemmed from that one decision. And there were lots of other possibilities where it could swing in one way or the other, but nothing really ended up mattering. And you both kind of converged on Graveyard Ledge at the end. But after all was said, Gamma just had a slightly more efficient route.
All right.
And people
Like
were
we
saying
said-
in chat that Gamma doesn't even believe in Catfish and Smiths, so I don't even know what happened this seed.
I mean, I felt like Humbug would probably do TR before Smith's Chain. At least Purple Chest. Did you end up doing that? Because I did that.
No.
Oh, I got the mirror
You got
because
the mirror?
I before Turtle Rock I put off Thieves Town, like the back of Thieves Town, for the longest time until I actually had the small key. So I could just grab my Purple Chest after Thieves Town because I had already turned in the Smith.
Yeah, so
I
you-
did.
You get the
Yeah.
later hook shot, which led to the
Yeah.
later cape, which led to the later Skullwood's big key, which led to the later Thieves Town, and all of that kind of
Yep.
let you single dip Turtle Rock, which
Yep.
was a huge advantage in your favor.
It was nice. But
it-
if that small key on Lake Hylia Island was not Turtle Rock small, I think like my initial plan was to after Swamp do that key, hoping it was a Castle Tower small. Do Castle Tower, then route Mushroom, and then over to Graveyard Ledge. But then it was a Turtle Rock small, and I just said, screw that, let's do Turtle Rock. But there was nothing there.
Yeah, I was really hoping you'd do Graveyard Ledge after the pyramid. And because I thought, oh well, he'll just run over, he'll mirror over for the mushroom, and then he'll hook shot across for the Graveyard Ledge. But you just did the mushroom by itself and went on.
Yep.
Which,
And-
it's completely fair when you have the entirety of Turtle Rock to do.
Exactly.
Yeah, we had quickly fairly quickly pieced together, like in that mid to late game, as we were talking about all the different checks that the two of you had done that the other player hadn't done or weren't able to yet do. We were like, okay, so Graveyard Ledge has to have something.
You know, I was expecting the Aga small key as
Yeah,
I
same.
was going.
So were we.
Yeah, because I finished Swamp. You know, my mind is like, okay, I need an Aga small key, to get that big key. I completely forgot about the other big key that was mirror locked up in Spec Rock. I go back to Swamp Palace. You know, I finished Argus. I skipped left side initially. I'm going back like, oh god, I just realized there's that big key sitting up there. Like, just could be Meyer big because I was just Meyer big for GT mode.
Yeah.
And that small key sitting on Hylian Island. I'm like, I should just leave right now. Like, no, I'm already kind of halfway there. And yeah, that's kind of what I banked on. Got the small key. It was TR. I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's kind of garbage because I already went to Laser Bridge. Then I go to get the big key. It's a Hera big key. I'm like, oh, well, now I have to do the basement because I didn't have a small key the first time I went up there.
Oh,
I did the big chest. Yeah, big chest and then basement. And I'm like, well, I'll just do TR, hopefully. I didn't think it was going to be there at that point, but maybe behind the mirror.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have much checks going on at that point.
There was something in Hera basement, wasn't there?
The desert
Desert.
wall.
It was a desert, right? It was something that I was hoping would lead to something, but it didn't.
Yeah, so the big key at this point is probably what? Swamp? I think that's the only one left. On Lumberjack.
I don't have. No, I have the swamp one from
You have
somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah, I went Stalfo's room first in GT. It was in GT. I don't have Ice Bake though.
Oh, I wasn't banking on that. I when I was a pen, I'm like, oh well, that's probably maybe GT. Hopefully, I don't ever want to see that big key.
Yep. Same. But all right, let's. But yeah, GG's Gamma. Congratulations on winning the tournament.
Thanks. Yeah, GG's again to you. I didn't know how to feel. I thought you were actually due TR before Smith's Chain. I didn't feel too bad about that purple chest. It was isolated. I had nothing else. I finished off Skull Woods in its entirety and Thieves Town, so it was just sitting there.
Yeah.
And I just was hoping a single dip Agate Tower, and yeah, but yeah, again, GG's. You're definitely a very fun and scary opponent to go up against. So
yeah, these races have been. Well, apart from the second one, both the other ones were very close.
Definitely.
So, yeah. But also, Shireen won't have to send those prizes across the Atlantic now. We can at least.
That's okay. I'll tell him to go ahead and send it to you.
Why?
Just so he could spare the extra expense.
Good point. Good point. Good point. Right.
And yeah, thank you guys to Koyan and Jembro for also doing the commentary, and Summer and Royale was Cheese for doing tracking. Yeah, and all the volunteers. Thank you guys again.
Our pleasure.
Yeah, and GG's again, Gamma, for being the 80 Keys 2022 champion. Humbug, excellent races, coming in as the runner-up. Any last words, I guess, from either of you before we start closing things up?
It was a very fun tournament. I gotta say, like Wall Kicks and Shireen that put it together. Well, mostly Wall Kicks, I think. It was a very fun tourney. I enjoyed all of it. Like I don't know. It was smaller-ish. It was still big. It was 96 people, but smaller-ish. But it was just cruising along so nicely and letting us pick sort of the mode was really fun. So thank you all for arranging this tourney in general.
Yeah.
And thanks to CSR for actually doing restreams for it.
Thanks for the compliments. Well, thank you Gammachuu and Humbugh for being restreamed. Congratulations to Gamma for winning this tournament. Thank you for lovely commentators Koi and Ninja Bro for commentating on this hyped up race. Also, thanks to trackers, the unsung heroes of the background, Royale and Celeste Summer. If you can't get enough of the Zelda Speedruns content, we will raid over to the Minish Cap Randomizer weekly race now. And if you want to enjoy some more streams, today we have 3 more, namely the Wind Waker Randomizer bi-weekly, an Ocarina of Time Defeat Ganon Anniversary Race, and a Z2R Max Rando Tournament, Losers Bracket Round 3, Mirai versus Level Engine. And yeah, I hope you all enjoyed, and we'll see us next time when it's called for Zelda Speedruns. See you all!